So I was a fighter, which means that I prided myself on being fit and strong and capable and independent. And there were times when I was too ill to make it up a flight of stairs without having to stop 2 or 3 times to catch my breath. And it felt like the ultimate failure. It felt like I actually realised after a while it was like I was in a feedback loop from hell. See, I was a fighter because I was fighting against a fear of weakness, really a belief of weakness. Part of me believed I was weak and that I had to overcompensate by being this macho, dominant person. And what better way to do that than to start fighting? But as a result of that resistance and the struggle with it, I fought my way into an illness that literally made me weak.
When you say you fought your way into an illness, what does that mean? How did that happen? How are they connected?
So I was fighting on the outside. I was fighting humans on the outside. And what I thought I was fighting against was the threat of weakness. But what I was really doing was resisting these parts of myself that had these negative opinions of who I am and my place in the world. And the resistance, it essentially meant that, resistance is resistance. It's like swimming upstream the entire time. So I was tense and on guard and defensive for years, maybe decades, probably decades.
That's exhausting.
But it came to totally exhausting, and it came to a head when I was fighting, because on top of all of that and the stress of competition, I was also dieting to be at the right weight, and I was training really hard every day.
Yeah.
It was the perfect storm.
Yeah.
And I just got weaker and weaker and weaker. And the irony was, the worse I felt, the more I wanted to counter it with my original, defense mechanism, which was to train harder and be stronger.
Yeah.
And I was just in this absolute nightmare, vicious circle, essentially. So we talk about this idea of the uninvited friend, the unwanted guest. And that was going on for me at so many levels. Initially it was weakness and fear and all the things I was trying to push away.
Yeah.
And then after that it was the illness, which I just see now as a physical embodiment of that fear. And also a part of me just screaming louder and louder and louder to be heard. The part of me that felt weak and small and vulnerable, I was shutting that part out, thinking it wasn't okay. And so it was screaming at me louder and louder to get some attention, connection, and self-love.
Yeah.
Retrospectively, I can see that was going on. But
at the time, what was going on? How did it feel? So was it like a gradual thing that you were feeling?
I mean, I wasn't aware of it for a very long time because I was resisting all the fear. How can you accept your fear when you are resisting fear? That was the whole problem. That's why I think I got to the point that I did. Something had to give. I had to be forced to stop.
Yeah. And I think that's what happens quite a lot with illness, isn't it? It's you. Yeah. There's the Gabor Mate book, When the Body Says No.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can ignore things and keep pushing, and then one day, well, actually, it's usually been in the post for a long time. These little signals, these little things, and in my case, chuck more coffee down me, chuck more wine down me.
Yeah.
Try harder was always the answer. Pull yourself together.
Yes.
And then it really does get to the point where your body goes, no way, no, done.
Hard line.
And it's so inconvenient, and so my ego that has all my ideas about what life's meant to look like really was kicking off. Because I think I always prided myself on being a hard worker and being a good friend, being a nice person.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the energy to do any of it.
No.
I really didn't.
It forces you to recognise your boundaries.
Yeah,
and
it
the
does.
difficulty is that at first you don't want the boundaries to be where they are.
Yes.
And the longer you fight against that, the longer you stay in whatever state it is you're in, whether that is burnout and chronic illness, or whether it's anxiety or whatever else that might be coming out. I mean, dependence, addiction, all sorts of things can be the end result of that kind of fight.
Yes.
But only once you accept that your boundaries just are where they are, not forever,
but
just for then. Once you can fully accept that, it can change. Until then, it won't.